Envelope tracking is a technology for improving the efficiency of RF power amplifiers that are used in wireless transmitters, and it works by dynamically modulating the power supply to the RFPA in line with the signal that's being transmitted. We're finding particular application for this technology in 4G smartphones, and one of the features of 4G is that there are lots of new frequency bands that 4G networks operate on. So instead of the 3 or 4 or 5 bands that are used for 2G and 3G worldwide, there are now 20 different frequency bands being used for the 4G LTE signals. So what we're seeing in the RF component industry is a big step change in complexity associated with the move to 4G. Handsets now need to transmit on 20 different frequency bands, and historically each frequency band has needed a dedicated power amplifier chip and a dedicated filter. You can't keep adding more PAs and filters into the handsets because they just get too big and too expensive. So the industry is just starting to adopt multi-mode, multi-band, broadband power amplifiers that will cover a whole frequency range with a single component. One of the challenges of those broadband PAs is the efficiency, the energy efficiency is reduced, and that's where technologies like envelope tracking come in to help bring the efficiency back up to the levels you expect with 2G phones. As mobile phones go from 3G to 4G, another aspect that impacts the energy efficiency is the complexity of the waveform that's being transmitted. So as the waveforms are getting more complicated and we're squeezing more bits of data into every hertz of spectrum, then we're having to move to advanced modulation techniques like OFDM. And one of the downsides of those advanced modulation techniques is that the peak to average ratio of the signal is much higher. The signal looks more like noise as you get more information in it. And that means the energy efficiency of the PA is being reduced. You have to have a PA that's big enough to transmit those peaks, which means on average it's backed off a long way. So that leads to a reduction in the energy efficiency of the PA that you need a technology like envelope tracking to overcome.